We had finally left Argostoli and were on our way to Zakynthos. The forecast looked promising, the sea was calm, and everything seemed to be going according to plan. But the next morning, a problem appeared that nearly ended our crossing before it had really begun. Welcome back aboard Sailing SOFIA with Tui and Max. After spending a week in Argostoli preparing for the next stage of our journey, we were finally ready to head for Zakynthos. With good wind forecast for the evening, we lifted our anchor and left the bay behind. We had 19 knots of wind, but quite on the nose. We motored for a while until we changed course from northwest to southwest. Like set the Genoa, and we can sail on Greenwich course. We enjoy a pleasant sail along the coast while the sun was setting slowly down at the horizon. Finally, we arrived at our anchorage near Koutala Beach and let our anchor fall. The next morning, we were up early and eager to continue. We heaved up our anchor with the first sunlight and motored away from Koutala Beach. The sun rises higher and higher, and we still motored. And suddenly Max noticed something strange. The wind instrument stopped showing useful information. At almost the same time, the depth display had stopped working as well. We checked connections and restarted instrument. We tried everything we could think of, but nothing worked. Meanwhile, the wind picked up and Max set the Genoa. We had already covered part of the distance and were looking forward to reaching Zakynthos. But without a reliable Depthsounder, continuing to a completely new anchorage became a serious concern. We discussed our options and Max made the decision we would return to Argostoli. Neither of us liked the idea, but sailing isn't about forcing plans. So we turned around. Unfortunately, the wind was now directly on the north. The engine went back on and we started the long trip back. While we motored towards Argostoli, Max continued checking cables and connections. Then without warning, the Depthsounder suddenly came back to life. The wind instrument was still not completely right, but the depth information was back. And that changed everything. The crossing was possible again. Immediately we turned around. Zakynthos was back on. This time with a growing breeze behind us. And finally, it felt like we were moving in the right direction again. We had steady wind from behind. And soon the coastline of Zakynthos came into view. We met a guide.
Zakynthos is in front of us.
All the frustration of the day slowly disappeared.
How much wind we have?
6 knots of wind.
The wind slowly died down as we sailed along the west coast of Zakynthos. Ahead of us were the spectacular cliffs and turquoise waters of Campi Coves. After a day that had nearly sent us back to where we started, we finally dropped anchor in one of the most beautiful places we've visited so far. But our Zakynthos adventures was just only begin. The water was too inviting to resist.
This is Campi Coves.
And for the first time that day, we could simply relax. Tomorrow, we will explore the caves hidden beneath these cliffs before continuing along the island's southern coast. Join us next time on our adventure. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.